If you have ever felt like you've started changing, you've started becoming that new version of you, but then something happens and you just snap back to the old self, and it feels like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to shift it. You just automatically default to old patterns, old ways of thinking, old behaviours. It's not you, and it's not failure. This is your nervous system pulling you back into familiarity, because what you're trying to achieve, the person you're trying to become, doesn't feel safe and it doesn't feel familiar. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why and how your nervous system keeps pulling you back to your old self. And I'm also going to talk about feminine energy and how by activating your feminine energy, you will also be regulating your nervous system at the same time and releasing some of that stress and pressure and overwhelm and fear and anxiety that gets activated when you are starting to become a new version of you. Hi, I'm Kirsty Elizabeth. Welcome to the channel. I help women heal, reclaim their power and unlock their true potential. And right now I am near the beginning of a challenge I set myself as part of my own identity upgrade this year. And that is to post 100 videos over 100 days. And I think today is day 15. I think yesterday was the second week, closed the second week out. And so every single week I'm coming on here and I'm sharing with you, giving you behind the scenes knowledge and insight as to what actually happens on the inside and the outside when we start to shift our identity. I don't actually have a holder for being in the car yet, but right now my house is very busy. And so this is somewhere that I can come and just get deep in my thoughts and reflection and share with you from a place of peace and groundedness, which actually is very regulating for my nervous system. So it goes hand in hand with what I want to talk to you about today. Last week, I shared week 1, which was where I started shifting into the new identity. I started doing this video challenge, which was my own intuition, my own soul guidance to becoming this new version of me. And at first I explained how it felt kind of overwhelming. It felt like a lot of work. It felt like, it just feels like a lot of hustle. How's this actually going to help my identity? And then I realised as I went through the first week how much came to the surface. I had lots of technical problems. I kept losing videos. I was ill. There was all sorts of things that were happening to me, which sort of just unleashed a little bit of chaos in that first week. And that's because I was starting to change the program. That's because I'd set this intention and I was changing my energetic frequency, and it wasn't familiar and it wasn't what I was normally used to experiencing, and a whole load of emotions came up. So I'll link that video in the description if you want to go and check out that video. But I really explained what happens that sort of first week that you start doing this work, what can happen and how you're not actually backtracking. And what's happening is just simply an energetic reaction. And it's also a lot of your stuff coming to the surface. In week 2, I noticed that coming up even more. So on day 7, I got ill. And then for about 3 or 4 days, I was unwell. So half of this week 2, I've been unwell. And my invitation to myself from my soul was to really lean into feminine energy more, to really feel into how can I complete this challenge in a way that feels more aligned, in a way that feels activating, in a way that doesn't feel like I'm hustling and grinding. And because a lot of my old patterns are to do with the wounded masculine. I came from hustle identity of I have to make it happen, of force and control. And if I wasn't going to do it, then no one was going to do it. And no one could ever do as good a job as me and all the rest of it. So being ill forces you to sort of lean back into that allowing things to move with you and for you, allowing life to do its job as co-creator rather than just hustling and forcing and thinking you have to do it all yourself. And what I've also really been noticing this week is this invitation. The word rest keeps coming up. Rest, relax. I almost see it in big capital letters. Relax, ease. It's all of these types of energies, and there is a really deep knowing that regulation is required here. My nervous system needs to be regulated. I need to feel safe. My body needs to feel safe in this expansion. And because it's brought up so much stuff and so many patterns which I was sharing in week 1, like the visibility fears, the fears of being vulnerable, the fears of sharing this behind the scenes insight with you, you know, all of this has brought up all these fears and just that, oh, is it safe? Is it safe? So it's really important when we're changing our identity to regulate our nervous system and really focus on creating safety in the body. So over this next coming week, this is what I'm really leaning into. It's the feminine energy piece and the nervous system piece, because the nervous system doesn't want you to change. And if you are tackling your fears head on, like I am, and if you are deciding to make quite a big shift in who you are, your nervous system will have something to say about it if it doesn't feel safe in doing so. So my job is to make myself feel safe. My job is to regulate my emotions, calm my body, make my body feel safe, and turn this into something that is empowering and uplifting and fun and activating and beautiful, and something that isn't a challenge, isn't pressure, urgency, which is those old masculine energies which are wanting to come up. It's a state of dysregulation when my ideas and thoughts are being led by fear and pressure and urgency and scarcity and overthinking and trying to get it right and perfectionism and spending too much time editing videos and all of this kind of stuff. My feminine just wants to flow and to just be here and speak to you and share my truth and deliver through energy, not through theatrics or performance or all these wonderful editings you see on other videos. I don't have the 5 hours a day to spend on delivering this. So my invitation to myself from my soul is to just focus on the message and deliver in your feminine energy. Tap into your feminine energy, rest and relax. What happens when you tap into your feminine energy is you create space, right? You create stillness. You allow yourself to breathe. You allow your mind to breathe. You create space in your mind. You allow your body to calm down. If you were to just sit there for 5 minutes and just not do anything, you're probably thinking, oh my God, my mind would go mad. I'd be stressing about everything I've got to do. Your body would be so grateful. You would give yourself some space to just connect to that energy inside of you, to your authentic self, to your authentic essence. And when we stop and we rest and we relax and we slow down like that, like we do in meditation, we connect to something bigger than ourselves. And this is where the magic happens, because we're creating space. We open ourselves up to receive guidance, to receive ideas, to receive creativity. We put ourselves in a flow state so that coming in a car and recording something like this is easy because I just feel like I'm in flow, right? Whereas when I am stuck in that masculine energy and I'm feeling like I need to force and push my way and grind my way through, the ideas don't come out easily. The words don't come out of my mouth very well. I feel like I need to go and script it and follow a format and a structure, and it doesn't feel as liberating. It doesn't feel as expansive. It doesn't feel as authentic in a way. It feels like I'm trying too hard and it feels too forced and pushed. So that is what the feminine is inviting me in to do over this challenge. And this came up last week as well. So I know this is a key theme for me over the next 100 days for my identity upgrade in 2026, is to really activate a much stronger connection with my feminine energy and lead from that space as well. And it's really so funny that as a society, we're really being called to pull more into our feminine energy. And nervous system regulation has become such a huge thing. It's not just a trend. Neither of these things are just a trend. It's for a reason. It's because it's bringing us back to our power, back to peace, back to feeling grounded. And from that place, we just access so many more ideas. So much creativity flows through me when I create periods and moments of peace and rest during the day. Because there's no hurry, there's no pressure, there's no urgency, and so the thoughts can just drop in. There are millions and billions of thoughts circulating around us all the time, and what we have access to depends on the frequency and energy that we're in. It depends how open and closed we are to receiving. And of course, being in your feminine is all about receiving. It's all about allowing. It's all about trusting and surrendering and tapping into faith and just allowing yourself to co-create the way that you're meant to be doing, not forcing and trying to do it all yourself. So that's definitely a key pattern for me and key theme for me in this challenge is that. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of videos pop up over the next couple of weeks about activating your feminine energy, healing your nervous system regulation, all of these things, because they're things that I'm going through at the moment. And so, as promised, I'm sharing the very things that are helping me as I move through this with you. So what are the biggest things you need to do if you want to regulate your nervous system? You want to come out of that survival mode and that pressure and panic and fear and dysregulation, is working through your emotions. It's actually allowing those suppressed emotions to come up and be healed, be seen. So many of us have spent so many years and decades pushing down emotions that we don't want to feel. We numb through maybe drinking or Netflix or food, shopping, betting, gambling, you name it. We have lots of different ways to numb out what we don't want to feel. But it's only in releasing these suppressed emotions, because they're energy. They're energy blocks in our body, and they are creating resistance. And so a huge part of nervous system healing and regulation is allowing yourself to feel and process emotions as they come up, not running away from them, not hiding them. Now, this isn't always easy for everyone. I had to really understand this just over a year ago when I wasn't very well and nothing was working and I couldn't heal. My nervous system was just in burnout. It had pretty much collapsed. I had chronic fatigue. I couldn't do anything. I was so poorly. And then I was just hyper fixated on how to heal, right? So all I was looking at is all I was focused on. And I was just keeping myself in that fix it energy. There's a problem, there's a danger, right? So I was signaling to my nervous system, we're still in danger. And what I learned to do was, in that period of time, was just to let go and start relaxing and releasing and resting and not panicking and just constantly seeking peace over everything else. Peace over healing, peace over doing. It was just like, don't try and do anything. Don't try and make yourself feel anything. Just look for peace. Just intend on feeling peaceful. And as I allowed myself to do that, my energy expanded, my frequency expanded. And then because I wasn't in a state of survival anymore, I actually had the calories to rewire and reprogram my mind and actually allow myself to shift out of that really poorly, unhealthy state that I was in to just now feeling kind of on top of the world and effortlessly walking a couple of hours a day with my dogs, doing all these videos for you guys, also launching something else behind the scenes as well. So I have a new project that I've been working on for the last few months. So there's lots going on, plus looking after my kids and all the rest of it. And I needed to really heal my nervous system and stop living in a state of survival and threat and always on the edge, on the pressure, go. That energy, it just leads to our burnout. And so leaning into my feminine energy, again, is something that really helped. And when you activate your feminine energy, you find another part of yourself. And it's often a part of ourselves that we've repressed or suppressed, that society's told us it's weak to be a woman. We need to hustle like men to be worthy. We need to be all these certain ways. But actually, there's so much magic in having that feminine energy. And of course, you don't have to be female to have the feminine energy. We all have both, and we all need to be in balance as well. But specifically for us as women, the more we activate this energy within us and this part within us, and don't shun it and don't hide it and don't shame it, and we actually liberate ourselves, that's where so much of our power comes. So much of our power. And this is what our life is calling from us. It is to really find that balance, activate that part of ourselves, heal, regulate, and then just allow ourselves to go for what we want to go for. So if you are trying to change your identity from a place of survival, you'll hear Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about this all the time. You can't create in a place of survival. So manifestations, creation, you really need to be in a place of creation. And you can't create when your nervous system is in dysregulation. You need to move into brain and heart coherence. You need to regulate. You need to put yourself in a place of ease and allowing and relaxing. And this is where we can rewire, and this is where we can become anyone that we want. So nervous system regulation is a huge part of identity upgrading, and I'm going through this right now. So I'll release some videos with some tips on regulating your nervous system, with some tips on moving into your feminine energy as well over the next couple of weeks, so that I can really help you as well. I hope this video has given you some insight into it though, and has helped you really become aware of ways that you might need to be doing this work and how this could be holding you back as well, and how it's not your fault. If you're struggling to change, it's not because there's something wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. It is simply your nervous system is doing its job of helping you survive by keeping you exactly the same, aka stuck in the familiar. So you're not doing anything wrong. And when you learn to really regulate and make your body feel safe, because so much of this is coming from the body, not the mind, and so many of us are living in our minds, not our bodies. When you can connect to your body and understand it and feel it and sense it and get to know it and get to know your energy and really gain emotional intelligence and emotional mastery, then so much can change within you. You're not just aware then, you're actually mastering your mind-body connection too. And your body is such a big part of creation, of your behaviours, of even your thoughts and your feelings on a daily basis, how you show up in the world, and your manifestations, of course. So if you're watching this and you want some help right now, I have a 7-day audio program which will help you shift your energetic frequency over the next 7 days. It will guide you through some of these processes that will help you regulate and heal your nervous system. It will also walk you through processes to release suppressed emotions. So it will give you an emotional upgrade where you'll do some healing. And it will also help you access higher frequencies like gratitude and love and success, and move away from the lower frequency energies that you might be stuck in right now, like fear and shame and things like that. So I'll link that up in the description. And of course, if you're someone that wants to do this on a one-to-one level, where we can actually go really, really deep, straight to the core, straight to the root, and start shifting whatever is holding you back right now, then you can book either a 90-minute one-to-one session with me, which is a coaching and energy alchemy session, or you can apply for one-to-one coaching. So let me know in the comments what's come through for you, what are your ahas and insights. As usual, you know I love hearing from you, and what actions you are going to take as a result of spending this time together. And for now, I'm sending you so much love as usual, and I will see you in the next video.